President Trump's push to deploy military forces in Chicago is now in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court.
Tonight, NBC5 Investigates takes a look at the possibilities in the court's decision, and that decision could come at any time. Our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy on the story, joining us now with late details. Chuck?
Allison, Stephan, the question in front of the United States Supreme Court is essentially whether President Trump can operate his own QRF, the military acronym for Quick Reaction Force. This case, put before the High Court by the Trump administration, results from lower court decisions here in Chicago that are blocking the president from federalizing National Guard units, a decision some believe will allow for Mr. Trump to create and deploy his own personal army whenever and wherever he wants. President Trump weeks ago declaring these suburban protests and tussles with law enforcement to be a rebellion, rendering, he said, immigration teams and other federal agents helpless in carrying out federal law. When he then sent in soldiers, Illinois officials went to court, where U.S. District Judge April Perry temporarily blocked the White House militarization of Chicago area protest scenes. It was since upheld by the appeals court. Her original 2-week restraining order tonight has been extended for 1 month after both sides agreed to let the 9-member Supreme Court decide whether President Trump can deploy what some call his private army.
This court has gone a long way towards tilting in favor of executive power. They have authorized a whole panoply of things that the Trump administration has wanted to do. And
former Chicago federal prosecutor Ron Safer tonight predicts President Trump will win in front of the Supreme Court.
I think it'd be 5-4, closer than some of the other decisions, but I would think that they will give the federal government the authority to call in the troops, because they are giving wide berth to what the Trump administration wants to do.
The Supreme Court currently has 3 liberal justices, outweighed by 6 Republican appointees, 3 of them tagged by Trump himself. Could they just say we're not going to touch this?
Yes, the Supreme Court can absolutely say we are going to wait until this is fully briefed. We're not going to rule on a stay motion. That's what's in front of them. What's in front of them is whether or not the order for injunctive relief to stop the National Guard from being deployed should be stayed. And they can say, we're going to wait until this case is fully ripe and comes before us.
Is there any reason to believe that this court in 2025, considering everything that is on the table, would do that?
I think it's unlikely.
Safer says a Supreme Court decision could be limited just to Metro Chicago, or the court might open up a full schedule of oral arguments and address wider issues that could take months. Numerous groups and political figures have filed friend of the court briefs the past few days opposing Trump troops on the streets, including one filed this afternoon by the Chicago Headline Club that has already managed to obtain its own court ruling protecting protesters and journalists from overzealous federal agents. Allison?
Thank you, Chuck.